Swiss genius in Roger Federer, the world #1, the defending champion.
Yeah, it's in the...
Looking for his 10th major, third here, and he's up against what many will hope is the hot Chilean, Fernando Gonzalez, 26 years of age, in his first major final.
Roger Federer to serve, ready?
Federer to begin.
Interesting here that Fernando Gonzalez actually won the toss and elected to receive. That's usually not a very confident move, but maybe he knows something we don't. Very good start for Gonzalez here. A short little cross-court forehand is a shot that really we don't know if he has it or not. Because the inside out we know about.
Pretty breezy courtside. It's been very blustery throughout the day. But not that hot. That's for sure. And it's great the roof is open for the final match of the tournament. Larry Stefanki. There must be a bit of value in that relationship still in Federer's mind. The novelty hasn't worn off yet of the improvement of Gonzalez under the guidance of Stefanki. And of course Stefanki is used to success here. He was coaching Rios into that final at 98, losing to Korda, and then the following year he was in Yevgeny Kafelnikov's corner, who won it in 99, beating one of your players, Thomas Enqvist, in the final.
So he's 1-1 Stefanki.
Yes.
We see early on that Federer is going to kick his second serve a little shorter than normally, I think, and with a lot of kick spin, and get it out to Gonzalez backhand and start working from that point on.
Good save from Love 30 for Federer to hold his opening game. An interesting game it was.
First game.
We talked about stats, it seems, for a fortnight. And here are some more for you to feast your eyes on. Federer in the tournament, 48 aces, 85 for Gonzalez, 7 double faults Federer, 9 for the Chilean, and the unforced errors, we've seen that improvement as well from Gonzalez. I think, yes, that stats are important, I suppose, to a degree, but how you handle right here and right now, that's what it's all about, really.
Definitely. Definitely. We did see how it is very breezy down there. It's going to be a big advantage playing from this side, where Gonzalez is playing now. The wind is in his back right now.
He's got huge support here, Gonzalez.
15 long.
The garden outside by the giant screen. The atmosphere is wonderful for about a couple of hours before. The Swiss and the Chilean supporters mixing pleasurably.
He's come out, started off great in the first game, won the first 2 points, but he's hit a couple of tight-looking backhands early on here, Gonzalez.
Well, the wind really played a part in that point.
Well, sometimes the wind is the great leveler, but I would say for Roger Federer it's most probably an advantage to have the conditions as difficult as possible.
Yeah.
Both players clearly bothered in that point.
Good playing.
And it's amazing that both players are trying to do to each other what the other one is doing to.
It's a mirror image, isn't it?
It really is. Federer with a better topspin backhand, but really Gonzalez's slice has improved so much.
Tough one to be so aggressive off. It's a good length. He's been prepared to trade, hasn't he, so well in the tournament, and unleash on the right ball so often.
Gonzalez.
Ooh, it's an important game for Gonzalez. It's just, that's the first obstacle, is to get on the board in the Grand Slam final and hold serve for the first time. It's just a confident feeling.
Stunning. Boy, what a volley.
Oh, what a stab by Federer. Really a good pass by Gonzalez. He puts everything he has into that.
15.
Oh, and that's tough to do the first volley of the match. And just sticks it.
Terrific. They've both said if they're going to go to each other's forehands, they've got to really go to them, and evidence of that right here.
Well, that's what that's why Federer's forehand is, I think, a little bit better than Gonzalez, because he can pull it cross court. We know about Gonzalez's inside-out forehand, but against the cross court one.
15.
Finding their range so well, so early.
That's really perfection right there. Just an unbelievable get by Federer to be able to pull that forehand so short. And so cross-court. He did that well against Andy Roddick too, when Andy Roddick came to the net, but Gonzalez is not going to be up there too often.
Federer.
With serve after 8 minutes. Federer 2-1.
2 games to 1.
1-2, first set. Got to get used to the wind serving at the top end now as we look. Gonzalez.
Very solid second serve by Gonzalez. It's going to be interesting if he will use that slicing serve in the first court, because that's serving straight into Federer's strength.
That'll really help Federer in his quest, seeing misses like that.
He sees that Gonzalez is not quite as patient today as he was in his previous rounds. And of course it's dangerous to be too patient against Federer, because then he'll dominate the point. Well, Federer's just trying to find his range here, really, because he's going to see a lot of these shots. You don't have to put it right on the line, though, do you, Roger? Every time.
Such a fine balance he's got to strike against a man he's not beaten in 9 previous attempts, remember. Just a constant test for him. And if he can keep producing like that.
Well, this first serve is going to be key for Gonzalez, because he needs to get 3 points off of the first serve. And the 3 point he's going to get against Federer is basically aces.
Just shows you the pressure that Federer by name puts on you. 3 unforced errors in his last match, Gonzalez. He's already double that here.
Yeah, he's going for a little too much here early on, I think. Because he's playing into the wind, and the longer the rally goes, the bigger the chances are for Federer. And there's that very important serve in the deuce court.
Advantage, Gonzalez.
He's hitting it a little flatter today, though, than what he's done in the previous rounds.
You'd imagine as the match unfolds more of that. Federer picking the right ball, go in on the backhand, maybe serve and volley on the backhand as well.
Well, again, it's going to get so many chances to set up points like this. And well, could have waited one more shot, Federer, and then still done the same thing. He's really going to go to that play more and more as the match wears on, for sure.
Brilliant.
Oh, it's a very low percentage shot to play, but oh, beautiful hands he has here, Gonzalez, because this needs to be that good. And for Federer to not even go for it.
Yeah.
Incredible hand.
Yeah. Honours even in these sparring rounds.
Both players have held their serve from both sides, and that's very important when it's as windy as it is now. He's trying to figure out how to play from both sides, and well, the drop shot into the wind is a very smart play by Gonzalez. just keeps you guessing there, Roger Federer.
15.
And he's not worried about the Gonzalez cross-court forehand. Again, it's the inside out that he's worried about, but Gonzalez is going to have to cover some court tonight.
Mm.
It's going to be really hard for Gonzalez to be able to run around the second serve of Federer and hit his inside-out forehand, because he's got so much spin on his second serve, Federer.
Squash shot off the frame from Gonzalez. It still went in.
Well, he didn't really have to do that, it seemed. He had more time than that. Here we go. Well, that's a new shot in the repertoire of Fernando Gonzalez.
Yeah. That's the serve he's going to have nightmares with.
Well, Federer places his serve so well. Plus he's added a little bit of power to it this tournament as well.
Good game from Federer. 3-2 first set.
3 games to 2.
3 service games held to 15 for Federer. A few more problems for Gonzalez, but holding firm at the moment. It's 2-3 first set.
Gonzalez gets so high up when he's first serve, when he goes for it.
He's got the lion's share of support here, Gonzalez. I think mainly because people just want to see Federer tested.
Definitely. Well, he's a very well-liked player, Gonzalez, mainly because of his game. But there's some similar similarities to Marcos Baghdadis from last year. It's a bit of an unknown for a common tennis fan.
I'm amazed he let that one bounce. It's a great get from Gonzalez.
I really looked for Federer to come in off of that forehand. And put himself in all kinds of trouble there, Federer, by not being more aggressive. It's so hard to know if Federer is tight or if it's just too loose.
Yes. Yeah, it's a tough one to call, that, isn't it? I don't think he's really come out like he said he was going to. Maybe it was windier than he thought, or... Most comfortable game on serve so far. We're level again.
3 games to 2.
A little bit surprising there that Federer doesn't keep the ball in play a little longer. He's really going for too much a little too early so far in this match. And at the same time not aggressive enough on that big return that he hit. Gonzalez mistimes this backhand. Haven't really seen him hit a shot like that in the last 4 rounds. Really hasn't missed anything. I think he forgot that there were going to be new balls in the next game.
Brilliant. That's what we've seen from Gonzalez so frequently. It's the first sign in this match.
Oh, definitely. It takes control of that rally. And it's this one-handed backhand down the line that hasn't been working so far. If he can hit that one, well, that's just an easy shot for Gonzalez, even against Federer.
Clever shot from the Chilean. And for once, overcooked on the stop volley.
15-13.
They'll just make him a little tighter. Or maybe less relaxed.
It's unusual for Federer to miss a little shot like that, but Gonzalez read it and was really running for it already.
Saw that so early, didn't he? Almost anticipated it before Gonzalez had thought of it.
Incredible, his second serve, and you see how he throws the ball up way over his left shoulder and is still able to pull it down the middle. Usually that means you're going to kick it wide.
And that's the sort of play I thought we'd see right from the off from Federer. He's been quite happy trading as well.
Well, that's a play that Federer is going to go to more than once, I suspect.
Brilliant point.
It's great tennis from both players. That's a very nice lob. Again, he's got the wind in the back. That's a tough shot to pull off, and a bit of an unexpected error by Federer. Gonzalez caught him by surprise there with that little flick lob. Well, they're both very stubborn at the moment. Who can hit the forehand harder?
It's a tough service game, this Federer. He was love 30 down in his opener, remember. But holds in classic fashion. 4-3 first set. Much to talk about at the change of ends. Much for you at home to ponder, I'm sure, as well. The longer this set goes on, the more you start to feel it's pivotable naturally for Gonzalez.
Yeah, it really doesn't make a difference to Roger Federer, apart from the fact that it'll be a set down if he loses it, but I don't think it's going to change his mindset at all. Whereas with Gonzalez, of course, really important to stay close.
New balls, 3-4. Oh. You barely heard the sound on the racket. But a strange choice on his first groundie in the rally.
Oh, it's a very bad choice, because to hit a drop shot off of a slice backhand means you're going to turn the rotation of the ball around, and not a smart play.
Went for the body. Had plenty of time for that pass after a terrific backhand.
Yeah, another strange decision. This is a good pass. They really had too many options to go right at Federer. Federer is such a nice guy. I'm not sure the players actually want to hit him.
Yeah. Big pressure now at love 30. Missed it.
15-13.
I'll be upset with that Federer, or as upset as he gets, but again, that's not a good error. He's just trying to put a little bit too much on this forehand. It is the right play. Won't be missing too many more of those, though, I don't think, Federer. Gonzalez is working a lot harder than Federer is early on in this match.
Well done. Rescues the love 30 situation.
13.
Hits that forehand with so much pace.
Not reading that one, Federer, is he, at the moment? Oh, it's brilliant defence, but what huge hitting!
It's amazing how Fernando Gonzalez lets that this high lob bounce. That's normal. The fact that he doesn't hit an overhead off of that and chooses to hit a forehand, because you have a lot more power if you hit an overhead, but not Fernando Gonzalez.
First mini crisis overcome. 4 points in a row from love 30. It's a wobbly start to the game, but boy, he finished it well.
Oh, really? And that's the Gonzalez we've seen in the leading up to this match, and we weren't sure if he was going to come out today, if we were going to see that Gonzalez at all. Of course, it's his first final against Roger Federer, greatest player of all time. But what a great comeback in that game.
He's doing as well as Roddick was in the first set, Mr. Gonzalez. Not by very much. Just needs one or two of those inspirational shots to come off.
There's something in his eye, it seems like. Wow, that's close.
Well,
it's a bit of a wild forehand by Federer.
and surprising that he would look to go back to the forehand. I mean, he's made conscious efforts to go to the backhand off his volley, Federer, the normal volley.
He looks really calm though, Federer, early on. There's been a few loose mistakes.
Again. I mean, Gonzalez was camped out towards the backhand there. There was a big gap down the line, but a surprising miss again.
He missed that by a mile. By Federer standards, that was way out.
Yeah. Back to basics. Good serve to the backhand. 126 mile an hour. It's going in.
Well, he does take a healthy crack at the pass off of both sides. When you see this slice back, and that's going to be a problem. It just floats up in the air when he plays into the wind.
His topspin backhand comes alive when he's got a target, Gonzalez, doesn't it? Not as much in the rally, but...
He really does. Interesting how Federer went to the backhand finally. He's not going to be able to pull that off too often, though, Gonzalez, I believe.
Another miss off a ball that had absolutely nothing on it. It's tough to get pace off no pace, but there's real encouragement here for Gonzalez. It's the first break point of the match. Got it. No wonder the vamos. Great excitement here. Gonzalez 5-4. 6 minutes. Fernando Gonzalez in the match of his life, serving for the opening set here. He's found no answer to that down the middle serve on the right court side, Federer, so far.
Well, he's really not reading Gonzalez's serve very well, but he's also giving him that one if he's able to flatten it out in the middle. Federer says, you can have it. You're not going to be able to hit it to my forehand and me not be ready.
Missed it.
59.
It's a good rally though by both players. Amazing turnaround there. It was down 4-3, love 30 Gonzalez, and then Federer just gave him the next 8 points.
Yeah. Made it.
That is so hard, that last forehand. This is very exciting if you're a Gonzalez fan, because he's suddenly started hitting his forehand as hard as we've seen him in the past. He's really been holding back so far, but not anymore.
Two set points. Gonzalez.
He's putting a lot of pressure on Federer at the moment with his big forehand, Gonzalez, and that's why Federer misses that return. Because he's now starting to play his game, Gonzalez.
Super. And surely we'll see this more. Surely.
Yeah, well, that is the way that Federer obviously needs to play, but what a gutsy play that is on set point. Of course, the pace of the passing shots of Gonzalez are so hard that Federer even has problems with this little volley. But it is a play we're going to see more and more of, most probably. Another set point, though. He rushed that one a little bit. Gonzalez should have played that back to the Federer backhand. But of course, with that kind of a strength, you have a chance you're going to go for it. Otherwise, you're going to kick yourself afterwards.
He's having to put his thinking cap on, and fast here, Federer.
Really has worked himself his way into this match by doing that, being more aggressive, and it's coming more and more.
From set points to break point, Federer's first. And breaks. Stunning return. Merker can smile. The first set is still alive. The wind is picking up. It's 5-all.
Ah, what a smart little return this is by Federer. That's intentional. It's not a drop shot. It's just to create a situation where Gonzalez has to just flick it up in the air, and of course he makes no mistake here. Federer, his one-handed backhand has really improved during these 2 weeks. He's hitting it more and more often.
Stunning, but I'm amazed again going into the forehand, aren't you?
I am a little amazed. I think Federer is going to go to the forehand on less important points, and on the big points he's going to try and get to the Gonzalez backhand. He's trying to set himself up for the big points by going to the forehand early on in games. Slight miss hit, at least it sounded like it. That might be intentional as well, though.
Oh, that's just fantastic. That's amazing.
That can be very frustrating for Gonzalez. We're doing everything right in this rally, but Federer's hands at the net. Magic. A couple of great gets, though, by Gonzalez.
Well, the hands, the vision, extraordinary.
An unexpected answer by Gonzalez here for Federer. I don't think Federer expected this one to come back as fast as it did. And that's usually because Federer thought that was going to hit the top of the net. You sometimes jump up like that.
Federer holds. Work to be done at the change of ends for Gonzalez. 5-6. Melbourne by night. It's fun, isn't it? Hope you're enjoying it at home. It's a terrific start here. 45 minutes. Gonzalez in the last service game. 2 set points. 40-15. At 40-30 had that forehand, remember, that he went for the clean winner. Didn't get it. This is going to be a tough service game to hold this time round.
Oh, well, Federer definitely feel like he escaped one there, but he's got 6-5 playing with the wind. He'll play the first 6 points in a tiebreaker with the wind as well. This is really Federer set to win.
Serena's stayed. Warm applause as she's shown on the big screen here. Does she look hungover? What do you think?
I don't think so. Well, that's really the first time that Gonzalez has gone to that, and Federer misjudged that slice serve. Just wasn't ready for that serve, Federer.
Out.
If he goes for that slice serve again.
Must have felt so pleased to be in the rally, Federer.
15.
He rushed that forehand a little bit though, Federer.
Wow. Well, there certainly is respect on both sides of the net, that's for sure.
Really, Federer has missed quite a few forehands with a large distance there. He's trying to flatten his forehand out a little more than we're used to seeing. And a couple of loose points by both players here. Ooh, and that's close. And worth a challenge.
Bit of a tumble for Gonzalez, such was the effort. And he's done some damage to the butt of his racket as well.
And that's a great get by Gonzalez, but again, there's too much court to cover. Ooh, and he nearly went over that ankle. That's the second time his grip on his racket has been damaged in 2 games.
40-15 up in his last service game as well. I mean, moments like this, it must be just so tough to keep your focus and just play at one point at a time. That's what he's got to do.
Really, this is not a good thing for Gonzalez, because really what he would like to do is change the grip, but of course there's not enough time to do that between points. In a changeover you can do that, but now it's going to go to a new racket.
He's certainly got the match face on, hasn't he, Federer?
Well, I think he knows if he wins the first set, the match is his to be lost.
Again.
Gonzalez.
It's a huge first serve, and again, Federer is really giving him that corner. Yeah. If you can hit it there, then you win the point. There's some equipment problems here, Gonzalez. Shorts, shoes, his racket.
I think the females will mind if his shorts drop down. First time, quietly under his breath, Federer says, come on.
It's just very calm, Federer, and I think he knows that the first set is huge for Gonzalez. Not so for Federer, but of course if Federer wins it, he can afford to be more aggressive.
Yeah. 8-9 minutes ago, he had 2 set points, Gonzalez. Now he's got to save one. And does. That was tight again from Federer.
It is so hard to say. Is it tight or is he too relaxed?
Yes.
He really didn't move his feet at all that time, Federer.
Yeah.
It looked like he was hoping that Gonzalez' shot was going to go out. He thought that was a bit funny though, Federer. It shows how relaxed he really is.
Will he challenge that one? Sandra Jenkin of France in the chair saying,
Gonzalez is challenging the call. On the left baseline, ball was called out.
we shall see. Yep, long.
Advantage. Federer. Mr. Gonzalez has 1 challenge remaining.
Really bad luck for Gonzalez there. That's a good forehand. Just clipped the top of the net.
Let's the surface.
That's a monster point.
Oh, that's a good reaction by Gonzalez. He'll really take this match to Federer. Hitting big shots and also having a big attitude.
Two set points saved. What a pickup. And to control it that well, Federer.
Questionable play by Gonzalez to bring Federer in, though, when you have as weak a side as Gonzalez does in his backhand pass. This has to be a winner. Otherwise, Federer is going to do that every time. And a low percentage choice by Gonzalez again.
He's quickly back to juice. He's not hanging around.
Huge serve by Gonzalez. Amazing how much harder Gonzalez has to work compared to Federer to win a point. Becoming more and more crucial this set for Gonzalez. This really is a big difference compared to the 2 semi-finals that these players played. A lot more unforced errors.
That is such a clever shot from Federer.
It's a huge forehand by Fernando Gonzalez inside out that Federer somehow controls so well. Easily the best defender in the men's game, even better than Rafael Nadal.
That's 4 set points gone. That missed by a long way.
And again, it seems like he doesn't get enough spin on his ground strokes here, Federer. A couple of flat forehands that sailed long, and last backhand was not too impressive.
Amazing. Well, he deserves a breaker, Gonzalez.
Gonzalez really has turned Roger Federer into a regular human being here.
Yes.
These are mistakes that I never see from this man.
Made it. Breaker will decide the opening set. Gonzalez had 2 set points, Federer 4. This is the 25th set between them. They've played 3 breakers in their previous. Head-to-heads, Federer leads 2-1.
Federer really let one go there. See if he gets any kind of emotions out of him if he doesn't start this tiebreaker good.
Close. Will that be challenged? No. Oh, he is challenging.
He's challenging, but he's walking to the...
It's in. Got every single one of his challenges right against Roddick. On Thursday, he's got the same eye tonight.
Really, he's not a happy camper that when he does challenge Federer.
No, he's not, is he? He's used it more than any other player in the tournament, believe it or not. Point will be replayed, love all.
Very methodical Federer in this point. That's maybe taking the chance too early there for Gonzalez. Keep this point alive a little longer.
Dropped in the crowd. And again, the speed in which Federer runs that big forehand down. A lot of players that's a clean winner against.
Oh, definitely. It took his eye off the ball there, though, Gonzalez. Of course, when you're playing against Federer, you want to keep one eye on Federer and one on the ball, and that's hard to do.
Tightening the screw here, Federer.
Again, the foot speed of Federer is just incredible. That's the wrong shot, though. Should have pushed that volley down the line to the Federer backhand and make Federer pass you with his weakness rather than his strength.
Yeah, frustration. And it'll certainly dampen their spirits. He's put so much into this set. If he comes away with nothing, which it very much looks like that's going to be the case, how much will be left?
And a couple of questionable decisions here. The later part of the set by Gonzalez.
Beauty of having played in so many major finals is you can just take it all in your stride, can't you? 5 sets is such a long way. First set for Federer, not that pivotal as we've been saying. It is for this man.
Yeah, Federer really is only learning Gonzalez's game, and he's figured it out now, Federer. Gonzalez is going to have to hit a lot more winners than he has in his first set to have any kind of chance. So once the points in play, Federer is the overwhelming favorite to win it. Does look like just another day at the office, though, for Federer.
It does, doesn't it? Extraordinary. And of course, just fueled by such enormous self-belief, Serena Williams, the women's champion in the crowd, doesn't suffer on that either, does she? 35 wins in a row, Federer coming into this, equaling his run of 05. 4 more set points. Yeah, the first sign. Federer, the first set.
We're taking it.
Welcome back. And you can see the trainer on for Fernando Gonzalez, back of the right shoulder it seems. I've been joined in the commentary box by Sir Fru Macmillan for the second set. Pretty incredible first set. Fru, what did you make of all that?
Well, it was obviously a bit too much for Mats Wilander because he could only last a set, and he just had to go off to the trainer, had to have some massage, not only to his shoulders, but he tells me also to his tongue. But there was so much to talk about in the first set, wasn't there? It was the sort of competitive set that we really wanted, and in a way backs up the fact that both these players have played such outstanding tennis to get through to the semi-final. But in many ways, I think it's a shame that Gonzalez didn't win the set, because I think he's up against it now. Yeah. And once it went into a tiebreaker, Federer at majors has got such a wonderful tiebreak record, because he knows he's got to win 7 points, and if you set Federer that task, he tends to win them.
And let's just hope for this is precautionary, because we want no anti-climax here, but
Well, no surprise that it should be to the right side, because that's the side, of course, as a one-handed, right-handed player. A man who hits the ball that hard that he should be having problems up in the right shoulder there. I think in many ways at the beginning of the match, Gonzalez was having difficulty with a high bouncing ball, and I thought that would really be a factor. Then Federer tended not to use it very much.
Howard Matz beat Roger Federer.
Oh, I'll take him out for 18 holes of golf the day before, and must probably stop in the bar and have a few beers and make sure he goes to bed really late. Try and knock him on his knee with a baseball bat in the locker room. Usually works. I would like to have Andre Agassi's service return, be able to take Roger's second serve early and hit it hard. Be nice to have Patrick Rafter's kick serve or Stefan Edberg's kick serve, where you can get really close after your serve if you serve and volley. And once in a while you're throwing a Pete Sampras bomb, and maybe Ivan Lendl forehand somewhere in the middle, and John McEnroe spirit. You know, that's so it's not that hard to do actually, but it's going to take a few players to dismantle him right now.
I don't know about you, Free, but I think Mats thinks it might be quite difficult to get a win against Roger Federer.
He said John McEnroe spirit. I haven't heard of that one. I would have thought of Jack Daniels might have done that.
Yes.
Probably a whole bottle of it for Federer.
There's an exhibition there somewhere, isn't there? A whole list of players waiting to come on to take Federer on for a few games. We're back to the serious stuff here, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, let's hope so. Saw no signs of it, of course, but as I say, no surprise. I think, too, the respect that Federer was showing for Gonzalez was illustrated in the number of unforced errors by Federer in that first set. At times, really trying to hit the ball almost too hard, because he was a little scared, like most of us would be, of what Gonzalez can do to him.
It's a beautiful evening here in Melbourne. 20th time the Aussie Open here at Melbourne Park. Gonzalez at the start of the second.
15.
It's all about sending down the right messages now, isn't it, from Gonzalez, as if to say, I'm not beaten, I'm still here to enjoy the best day of my life, and I'm still here to win.
30.
And will Federer, by comparison, relax a little now, like he did against Roddick at the end of the first set, and just go into a different world? It's all to see before us.
Well, he doesn't have quite the volleying skills, of course, that Federer has, although on the drive volley he can be pretty dynamic, the Chilean. And of course that set is the 8th straight set that Federer has won against Gonzalez. So the feeling really is that it would have made an impression on Gonzalez, the fact that he tried so hard, played so well, and yet the 8th successive set loss to Federer must surely make a dent in the man's mind.
It's the toughest set Federer's had in the tournament. Two set points he had in it, Gonzalez, at 40-15, 5-4. Well done. Wins the opening game. He's still hitting big. The shoulder seems to be okay.
Yes, it's a very important phase of the match, this, because there's always the chance, and it so often happens, a very tight first set. And the man who's won it tends to go on to better and greater things, but consolation there for Gonzalez. Federer still forcing a little too much, I think, on the forehand. I mean, he's got a wonderful forehand. There's really no reason for him to be trying to hit it even harder. And isn't that amazing? One more percentage points on his second serve than on the first.
Yeah. Oops. Boy.
15 love.
No wonder having a little time out here. That was strange. He's almost ahead of himself.
No, it almost did more damage to his left ankle there.
Well, if he starts to motor like he did against Roddick, it'll be a joy to watch, but it'll be a bitter pill to swallow for Gonzalez.
Much lower ball toss there by Federer, using that wide serve. I think the wind may have quietened down quite a bit as Knight has drawn in here. Well, he served just the 2 against Roddick. Of course, he's generally a man who serves very few double faults.
It's just his 8th of the tournament. Some ominous signs in that game.
Yes, and one of the reasons, of course, that Federer does serve so few doubles is the fact that he serves with quite a bit of spin. He's inquiring about when new balls are to be taken, because he likes actually to use the new racket a game before the new balls. But he hits the second serve with quite a lot of spin, and even though it can be quite pacey at times, it means that there are very few free points given to his opponents. Gonzalez, on the other hand, tends to smack the ball a little bit more, will tend to serve more double faults, although he has been almost perfect. He's only served 1 double fault in 3 matches, Gonzalez, none in his last 2 matches. But he needs to boost the points won on his second serve. 48% there. He's generally around about the 52-53%.
He was a little cagey early on in that first set, wasn't he, Federer? He's sort of opening up a little bit more here at the start of the second.
Bumped into his parents and his sister Diana, who've come across from Basel. Mind you, they've been touring in Australia for a few weeks.
They're not here that often with him, are they?
No, they only came towards the end of the tournament, and his father was saying, you know, people were kidding him about only coming late in the tournament now to watch Federer's matches. Yeah. I think we can all understand it there. Asked them how much they'd seen of Federer today, and they said not very much. Well, this is reassuring for all the throng here, the adoring fans as well, and particularly that his shoulder does not seem to be giving way.
Wow. How you would love that at 40-35, 4 on his second set point. 2-1.
Gonzalez leads 2 games to 1. New balls, please.
15,000 Rod Laver Arena seats, and they're fully into this final. New balls for Federer.
Yes, they're talking about increasing the size of this arena, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't want to be outdone by the likes of Wimbledon and the US Open.
They've talked about making it a bigger capacity than Arthur Ashe. I mean, that would be phenomenal. Great shot.
Yes, I think it would be wrong, in fact.
Yeah, too big, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's 26,000.
Yes, there's a certain intimacy about tennis. You don't want to be too remote, unless you've got very good binoculars.
Yes, there'll be a few twitchers required. $200 million is the proposed expansion of the facilities here. Trying to get government to back it, rather like they did a lot of the redevelopment for the MCG, just yards away.
Well, we've not had a love service game in the match until the last one, and so often these bedfellows are put beside each other.
Let's process this. Game, Federer.
2 in a row it is.
2 games.
And of course that just quickly puts the pressure back on Gonzalez to keep holding, especially now he's a set down, of course. There would have been such a different edge, wouldn't there, if Gonzalez had pinched the opener.
Well, you can see the Federer hair still being ruffled there, the wind still coming through the roof open. Worth repeating, it's been closed so often during the tournament.
That's good. I suppose in a way as well, Gonzalez losing that first set for it might free him a little as well, because he's now got to play, he's got to take it to Federer.
I think it would certainly free him. It's just a matter of whether it frees him in the most positive way, because you can be sort of too relaxed. And I mean relaxed to an extent where you're actually not giving your utmost. But I don't think that can be said for him at the moment, because he is giving it his all.
Hit that serve really well, hasn't he?
He has. Of course, he's got that with that wide serve, and it's such a good mixture, because many opponent will be expecting the one out to the forehand.
Yeah. A love game for Gonzalez. His first. 3-2, second set. First point, 6th game, second set. That was an air shot, but
well, it's quite a contrast to the first set, where each game was so much more competitive.
Yeah.
And Federer now on a run of 7 successive points. Gonzalez on a run of 10.
And the unforced errors are drying up, certainly for Federer.